Hey everyone, Base DS here, and welcome back to more Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, but we're not continuing on with the game just yet. Instead, we're going to go ahead and backtrack a small bit to Launch Base Zone because there's actually something I want to go ahead and cover there. So, if you recall, earlier in the Let's Play, I stated about how, for as big as Sonic 3 and Knuckles was, the whole game literally could not fit on a lone Sega Genesis cartridge, and as such, the game had to be cut in half, with Sonic the Hedgehog 3 releasing in the beginning of 1994, and being followed up 9 months later by Sonic and Knuckles. And of course, locking the games on together allows you to play the full version. But if you were to play Sonic 3 released as it was, the game would end at Launch Base Zone. And let's be honest, from what you all saw last time, there is literally no way in hell in any shape or form that the Robotic Rocket is an intimidating final boss. It just isn't. It's not final boss material. But, as I said, if you were to play as Sonic 3 alone, after you destroyed the Robotnik Rocket, there would be a third boss that you would face off against that would serve as the game's final boss. And we're actually going to go ahead and quickly go over that final boss here. And really, the only reason I'm doing it is because, well, one, I like small little bits like that, and plus on top of that, keep in mind that, as you saw, as soon as we destroyed the Robotic Rocket, the zone ended there. So, yeah, when you're playing the locked-on version, that final boss is completely omitted. Yet, oddly enough, it ends up popping in Knuckles' playthrough later on down the road. And that's another reason why I wanted to do this. I wanted to go ahead and go over the Excluded final boss. That way, when it ends up popping up in Knuckles' playthrough later on down the road, it just doesn't seem to pop out of nowhere. It existed, but for reasons unknown, it was left out of the game for Sonic and Tails when you played as the true Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So that's what we're going to be going over and covering here. So let's go ahead and dive on right into this, shall we? So, back at Launch Base Zone, we'll just go ahead and get a couple more rings here. And let's go ahead and deal with the Robotnik Cannonball once again, but I've got the electric shield, so this is going to be pretty easy. We're just going to ham our way through here. Oh, really? I couldn't keep my balance on it? Well, doesn't matter. We got him that time. And Tails decided to take a swim there. And so one thing of note that Sonic 3 has, mainly the extra life, the invincibility, the sub-boss theme, and Knuckles' theme are all very different from what you would encounter if you were playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So when you're playing the locked-on version, you're using the default sound effects that were present in Sonic and Knuckles. So as for why they removed them, I want to say mainly for the sub-boss and Knuckles' theme, the little hints of Michael Jackson's music, of course. And so they figured, we can just go ahead and minimize this. I don't know. But anyway, back onto the platform, hooked on to the bottom of the Death Egg. I want to go ahead and get hit there real quick. And we're just going to go ahead and go to town on the Robotnik Rocket. Just try to end this as quick as we can. And with that out of the way, it's time to take on the final boss. So now, canonically, this boss's name is known as Big Arm, but really, that name doesn't sound intimidating to me, so for this encounter, I have decided to dub him the Death Egg Guardian, because, let's be honest, that's exactly what Robotnik is doing here. He's guarding the Death Egg from Sonic's interference with this thing. So the Death Egg Guardian can easily grab you in its arms, and you really want to watch out if you're playing as Super Sonic, because this thing has the capability of grabbing you in its hands if you're Super Sonic, slamming you down onto the platform, and tossing you out of your super state. So yeah, pretty intimidating. It means even if you can end up getting it here as Super Sonic, unless you're careful, chances are you're going to get tossed out of your super state if you aren't playing your cards right. On top of that, if you were playing as regular Sonic, unless you knew how to abuse the insta-shield, it can be pretty hard trying to hit this thing's cockpit. But it's okay though, 2 more hits and it'll be down. But yeah, first time I got to this boss, it gave me so much trouble when I was playing the PC version of the game on the Sonic and Knuckles collection. But, doesn't matter. We've taken it out. And the ending is pretty much the same, except for the fact that in the background, the Death Egg is completely destroyed. Of course, granted, when Sonic and Knuckles would be released later on that year, it would pretty much retcon Sonic 3's ending. So, yeah. But anyway, that is all I actually wanted to cover here, the Sonic 3 final boss. I figured it would only be right to give it its due because I just enjoyed fighting against it so much when I was a kid, because it literally gave me so much trouble. I mean, having to fight my way back all the way through Launch Base Zone to try to get another shot at it after it ended up giving me a game over before. Oh yeah, definitely some really fond memories there. It truly gave me a run for my money. But yeah, it was just something I wanted to go over because I just wanted to show that it existed in the game, and I didn't want it to seem like it came out of nowhere when we end up facing it later on down the road in Knuckles' playthrough. I just like covering all those little things, you know? I can't help it, I'm methodical like that. And of course we get the Sonic 3 exclusive credit music, once again composed by Michael Jackson, another track that was omitted when you played the true version of Sonic 3. Which ironically would have actually fit in with the ending cutscene, but you'll see that later on down the road when we get to the end of the game. But overall, that's pretty much all I wanted to show here. Just a neat little exclusive that only the Sonic 3 standalone version contained for Sonic and Tails if you were to play as them, and was omitted from the full version of the game apart from its encounter as Knuckles. But that is pretty much where I'll go ahead and end things here. So, until next time, thank you all for watching. I hope you've been enjoying things so far, and I'll see you all again later. So, until next time, enjoy the rest of the music.